The world may increasingly be a common marketplace, but we also see it as a shared workplace and as a common living space. We have historically impacted the world in its thoughts and activities, and that aspiration continues to guide our approach. Today, we meet to recall the difference that one Pravasi Bharatiya made more than a century ago. May it inspire us all to each do what we can to contribute to the new India in the making. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
We would like to welcome Ms. Smita Shah from the Delhi Committee of Chicago Sister City International also to this occasion. I would like the Consul General to continue with the program. Sir.
I think before we started the program, I was talking to some of my friends from the community today, and they were asking me as to what is the structure of the program today. Is it a very formal program, informal program, speeches, this and that? So I would like to mention to you that today's program is really an interactive session. What we have planned today is, you of course heard our External Affairs Minister speak about the role of Indian diaspora, the way Government of India looks at with appreciation members of our diaspora in different parts of the globe, their contribution to India's development, and as Foreign Minister mentioned, how can we work with our friends and partners in the community abroad to for the faster trajectory of growth of new India in the making. I think in terms of program structure, what I would like to say that I would be requesting our distinguished members of the community, Dr. Bharat Barai, Dr. Shekhar Mishra, and Ms. Smita Shah to say a few words. Then I wish to give you a small presentation with photographs on what the consulate does or is not doing, perhaps, so that you all appreciate the range of activity that we do, apart from OCI card, passport and visa services. And then I would like to hear from you as to what more we can be doing in 2020. Of course, we have an action plan for 2020 for different segments of our work, but I really would like to have your suggestions and feedback which are practical in nature, which you feel as a member of the community representing different organizations in Greater Chicago area and in the Midwest for us to do more in this 2020. That is the whole purpose of the exercise. I want to use this opportunity and presence of all of you to this evening to benefit from your suggestion and advice after giving you a sense of our activities for last year, so that you have a sort of a template that this is what we do and this is what we can do more. So with these words, first I would request Dr. Bharat Barai to say a few words, and then I will request Mrs. Smita Shah and Dr. Mishra, and then I'll give my presentation. Thank you.
Consul General Sudhakar Darela, the consulate staff and friends, it has been a pleasure, privilege, and honor to work with you all for the benefit of our community, as well as to enhance the relationship between India and USA. Pravasi Bharatiya Divas is one day that was chosen to reflect the relationship that exists between 32 million strong Indian diaspora all over the world and the motherland, India. And as Dr. Jaishankar and Consul General pointed out, the day the most famous NRI or Pravasi Bharatiya returned to India, 9th of January is the date that was chosen. United States is one country which has one of the highest diaspora population. Middle East, of course, is the largest one. This relationship is the relationship between the diaspora, the people of India, and their elected representatives, and it's a bipartisan or all-partisan effort, as we might call it. Even though it was started by a BJP Prime Minister, the subsequent governments that came they were equally supportive of this initiative. And we should also take it as Indian diaspora and India, no matter which government is in power. As they used to call it, this Indian diaspora in USA, we are the ambassadors of India in USA. And when we go to India, we try to act as ambassadors of USA in India to try to enhance the relationship between the two countries. I mean, it's in our own interest that the two democracies of the world, which are the largest and the oldest, they have great relationship among themselves, which can benefit the people of India, people of USA, and that can enhance the relationship, peace, and prosperity around the world. So, when the issues arise related to India, all of us as volunteers should take time, effort, spend some money to try to talk to our congressmen or senators about the views of Indian Americans so that they better understand our views are. And you know, there are times where in democracy the friends differ, but we have to do it. Like for example, when India had nuclear explosion, there was a lot of resentment in USA. But a lot of Indian diaspora worked to convince the US lawmakers why it was a necessary thing for India to do it. So from time to time, this kind of situations will happen, and we all should try to participate in this process to educate our elected representatives here why it's in better interest of both countries to have great relationships. So once again, I thank you all for coming here today. We continue to make our effort as Indian diaspora, and my gratitude to you for all the opportunities that you have given in the last few years. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Barai, for your kind words, and also your suggestion for us, all of us, to engage more and more with our elected leaders to sort of to discuss with them and to apprise them as to what is happening in India and also what more we can do in India-US partnership. Thank you very much for your suggestion. I will request now Ms. Smita Shah to say a few words.
Thank you, Consul General, and thank you for everyone on the Consul General's team. It's always so wonderful to be here with all of you. Namaste.
Namaste.
And Happy New Year first. What a great way to start the new year with such a nice celebration, and the Consul General has some amazing food. So I think as we're excited about your presentation, I think we're more excited about some of the great, wonderful smells that are coming throughout the room today. So I'm here, obviously, I'm the Consul General mentioned, I'm the chairman of the Delhi Committee, but also I'm here as, the daughter of my father, Niranjan Shah, who is the former Pravasi, who has received the Pravasi Bharatiya Award. And it was such an amazing thing to go to that event because you see, we think sometimes, we remember we're from, I wasn't born in India, but we're from India, and we now live here. And you forget how great the accomplishments of our community, our Indians, are from all over the world. And you see, I think when my dad received the award, I think the vice president of Mauritius, who was of Indian origin, also received it. And there was some amazing people. And so you realize, you realize how lucky we are to have such a tremendous community. And as a community, we all inspire each other to do better. And you see that just in our room. And whether or not you've received the award, look at all of you here. I mean, so many of the uncles and aunties I see are people I've been seeing for many years, and you engage every day. But then we're also seeing the next generation come in and start doing more things and want to be interested. And I think that in and of itself deserves great recognition and great excitement, because without the community, all of us are alone. And if we're alone, we can't do anything. And if there's strength in numbers, and I know all of you always are so kind and support me as, Niranjan Shaki Beti, and, and it's always so nice. But also just as I do things, you're always kind and thoughtful too. And we need that. We need that from each other. And, certainly as you all succeed in what you do, whatever it is that you do, you raise the profile of the community. And so we all rise, but we not rise as one, we rise as all together. And that to me is probably the best part of being part of our community, is that as long as we continue to support each other and we all do well, we're going to make great strides. And we're very happy to have Consul General Sudhakar Dalila as our Consul General for pulling us all together. Great food. And all that you're doing to try and make sure that we're all engaged. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Smita, for your very kind words. I think as the chairperson of the Delhi committee of the Chicago City International, Smita and her team has been doing very good work to promote understanding between India and US and between two great cities, Delhi and Chicago. So thank you very much for your service to the community, and of course, you also represent the new generation of the Indian diaspora. I have some young students who have come from IIT Chicago today, and we really look forward to our younger generation to keep expanding their engagement with India and helping us to strengthen this partnership between India and US. You also reminded us that I forgot to wish all of you a very happy new year, to all of you and your families. So नए वर्ष की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं आप सभी को, आपके परिवारों को. Thank you very much. Then I'll request Dr. Mishra to say a few words, and then I'll come to my presentation.
Thank you, Consul General Sudhakar. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I was asked yesterday morning or afternoon that I should say something, and usually public speaking is not my taste or forte. But I thought about it because I've been thinking about it for a long time. And every morning when I go to work, I'm welcomed by 22 flags of different countries and one United States. India has a permanent post flag at my laboratory. And every morning while we walk to our office, we think about how to give back or what to do for our motherland. And we have been doing a lot for last 15 years or so. But what next? And since the Consul General asked me for various specific things, so I thought about, okay, what as a community we can do. As you heard just a few minutes ago, recently in the news there has been a lot of turmoil because of some of the very important decisions that government of India took, and it was taken about the best interests of the country. But United States and other Western allies have their different viewpoints. And in my feeling, there are so many countries, lots of things happens. But whenever India does something, it becomes a little bit more turmoil. And essentially, I think because we are not as organized as many other flags of other countries are. And this is from my personal experience. So India is in a position, as Prime Minister says, we are going to be $5 trillion economy in his 5-year term. So we are in position to demand and expect both the better treatment from US and international administration and the media. And in my view, and this is one thing I've been working on a little bit, that this can be achieved if we are organized a little bit, and we have a think tank which is made up of people with credibility, of people, many of you who are here, that United States government, both Republican and Democrats, they take our vote. They have to listen to us, okay? But that can be done at individual basis as we are doing, but also in an organized way. If we have a think tank like India Vision or whatever we want to call it, let's have a think tank which gives a message to both Republican and Democrats in a very organized way that this is India's position and this is for this reason. Okay, so that's one thing I think because of the current atmosphere in politics, we need to organize. And I knew that there will be a bunch of young people sitting in the audience, and again, because of the administration change in the United States, and I'm pretty sure you read the newspapers, how it is affecting non-resident Indians, young non-resident Indians in the United States. There are at least, I would say, 1,000 companies of Indian origin, even more, in Chicagoland area or in the Midwest that Council General looks after. There is a serious problem for the younger generation, especially in the STEM, and they need some training, and because of the visa situation, they are not getting the much needed training. Okay? And between these industries and the consulate and these universities, we could help organize something so that they can get much needed training before they go back to the homeland. Okay? I have my personal experience that I graduated 18 PhD students from India, and in the last 5 years. And you like to promote reverse brain drain. Okay? And India has to be willing to take those qualified PhD back. 10 of them have faculty jobs in India, but 8 of them are here. Okay? You cannot stop everybody from, or cannot force everybody to go back. But if they go back, they should go back with the best training possible. So that is another thing that one could help organize. And you know, when you talk about these lobbies and think tanks to help the U.S. government make up its mind, it happens only when you have an organized system. So if you look at, I don't want to name the countries, but if you look at the Western countries and the countries who are very organized, they do it from the grassroots, and the grassroots is where our kids get the most education in this country. Those are the universities and their first job where they get. And at present, we do not have a mechanism of enhancing the Indian presence in that system. Okay? We are going to be $5 trillion economy, but we have not penetrated the education system of the United States as much as we can. And that's another area I have written to Prime Minister about it, that India is spending billions of dollars in science and technology education abroad. Okay? And we could organize to have our
Pravasi, Divas.
Indians penetrate the education system in a little bit better way.